September 12th, 1962. President Kennedy gave a speech at Rice University in Houston, Texas, outlining his plans to go to the moon and become a spacefaring nation. Here's an excerpt from that speech. "We choose to go to the moon and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills." And less than 7 years later, we had boots on the moon. There are people that say we have earthbound problems and we need to stop space exploration, that the cost outweighs the benefit, that it's too dangerous. Today I will support the opposite claim, that humanity needs to keep going to space. The reasons are fourfold. Research in space science will yield technologies that we can use here on the ground. And the second reason I support the claim that humanity needs to keep going to space is the more we go, the better at it we get. Practice makes perfect. It may be necessary for our society and for our very survival. And the fourth claim is quite simply, exploration is what humans do. First reason why humanity needs to keep going to space is, like I said, we have technologies that come from the space program. When you do something that's designed to be used in space, it's going to be, it'll be robust enough to be used on Earth. Some examples of that are the cords that held the parachutes for the Viking landers in the 1970s. They landed on Mars. That super dense material is now used in radial tires here on Earth. There are robots that do jobs for us in space, especially outside of, like, say, the space station. And research in that has led to robotic limbs for people who need them. If you have a memory foam mattress, you can thank NASA for that. Water purification. There is a water purifier on the International Space Station that can convert urine into drinkable water. And I think it can handle anything that comes out of the tap in Las Vegas. That's all from Spin-Off magazine. That's a NASA publication. And it talks about all the technologies that come from that. NASA's budget in 2013 was only $1.6 billion, which sounds like a lot, but during the era when we were flying shuttles, roughly yearly, that would have been about one mission's worth. So it's not a lot. It's 2/5 of 1 cent per tax dollar is what goes to NASA. That's according to astrophysicist, science popularizer, and my current man crush, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's from
My boyfriend, he's my smart boyfriend.
Yeah. It's from a
Everybody's
YouTube
got to have a
video.
smart boyfriend.
Yeah.
You can have a hot boyfriend, he's hot and smart.
Exactly.
He is.
So, and it's not like we don't have the money. I mean, one of the new model stealth bombers costs $550 million per plane, and the Air Force has ordered 100 of them to be produced over the next 10 years. Far be it from me to diminish our need to stealthily bomb things. I think we might be able to do with 10 fewer and quadruple the NASA budget. Or another example, one Virginia-class submarine. The Navy has ordered 10. Those are, and I've lost my place. I didn't write down how much those cost. I imagine they were in the billions. They were in the billions.
So we're
Yeah, that's from DefenseNews.com and Bloomberg.com, respectively. Humanity needs to keep going to space because the more we go, the more we learn. The farther we can go, the more we learn about propulsion, the more we learn about supporting life in space. We learn by doing. We need to keep doing this. And when the government leads, like NASA, they went to low Earth orbit in the 50s and 60s, and now private industry can do the same thing. Elon Musk's company, SpaceX, has the Falcon rocket and the Dragon capsule, and has successfully delivered payload to the International Space Station several times. They're going to be starting human trials next year, actually taking human crews up there. We won't have to depend on Russia any longer for that, which is fine. I'm all for cooperation, but it'd be good if we had our own space vehicles again. It may be necessary for our society because, say a solar flare hits, it's going to it could potentially knock out our communication satellite network. And we would be, if we don't have a mobilized space fleet, the repair time on that is going to be a lot longer. And we'll be at the mercy of other nations that might be better prepared. It's like, hey, hi, China? Yeah. How you doing? It's the United States. We're, you know, how's communism working out? Yeah, good? All right. Here's the thing. Can we borrow a spaceship? We need to get DirecTV going again. You know, that puts us in a difficult position. So. Plus, if we, say we were to go into space and set up colonies on Mars, the moons of Jupiter, that sort of thing, humanity is no longer on this one body. And we're no longer one target for, say, a stray asteroid or a disease or a nuclear war. I mean, if we had off-world colonies and we lost Earth, life would be a lot more difficult, but we wouldn't be just wiped out. We'd have a fighting chance. So. Plus, you know, we've learned to live, we can live off-world. We've learned to live in places like Las Vegas where, I mean, there's 2 million people in the desert where we shouldn't be. But we've learned to do things like move water and change the environments of our interiors. So, you know, we can learn to do these things. And the 4th reason why we need to keep going to space, exploration, it's quite simply what we do as humans. We're descended from explorers because it has survival value. That's from a book called In Search of the Sacred Baboon, which is about primate evolution. People that dared to go away from their familiar surroundings, they found more fertile hunting grounds. They found the better berries, you know, they found better climates and stuff. And those that just sat around and said, no, I'm good here, you guys go, they died off. And they're not here anymore, although they may be returning in the form of narrow-minded politicians. But I would hold that to be self-evident. I mean, humans, we see a mountain. We see a mountain and we say, I want to go up there. I want to see what's on the other side. We see an ocean, we say, I want to go out to the farthest point I can see. And when I get there, I want to go to the next farthest point I can see, and I want to keep going. We look up, we see the moon, we see a planet, we see a star, and we say, I want to go there. I want to see what's up there. There's a lot of places we can explore in our own solar system too. There's the moons of Jupiter, one of which has water beneath the ice, liquid water. And if life takes a foothold wherever it can in the universe, it might be there. There's moons around Saturn. There's a moon there that has lakes of liquid methane that might support an ecosystem. Uranus has a funny name and has moons. We can go there. Anyhow, we need to keep going to space. We need to practice at it. We need to get good at it. We need to go to the moon regularly so we can be good at it. Because if we are to become a spacefaring species, if we are to go out there to other stars, perhaps, it's going to take feats of engineering unlike anything we've ever done before. Possibly even up to and including creating devices that are designed to circumvent the very laws of physics that govern how they work. We need to start somewhere. Humanity needs to keep going to space. Today I supported the claim that humanity needs to keep going to space because it gives us technologies that we can use here on Earth, and it solves problems. Because it may be necessary for our survival and for our society. Because the more we do it, the better at it we get, and because exploration is quite simply what humans are programmed to do as surely as fish swim and birds fly. Thank you.